What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video of Sports Talk Buffalo. The UB Bulls football team absolutely dominated in their season opener and their first game under brand new head coach Maurice Mo Linguist. They opened up the season in a big way with a 69-7 trouncing of their FCS opponent, the Wagner Seahawks. The Bulls, heading into this season, many people thought, including myself, that they would be good, but again, this was utter domination from start to finish. It was not close. It was never close. The closest they came in this game was the coin toss in which Wagner won, and that was the absolute end of it. From beginning to end, the Bulls absolutely dominated. Yes, I believed the Bulls would win this game. However, I just simply didn't think they would win in this much of a dominating fashion. To give you an example, in 2019, at the beginning of the season, they beat their FCS opponent, Robert Morris, 38-10, and that game wasn't even really that close. And in this game, UB put up 69 points. That is utterly insane. Yes, again, I know it's against a lesser opponent, but to put up 69 points against other guys who, yes, again, they are a lesser opponent, but they are still Division I, and they just absolutely blew the doors off of the Wagner Seahawks. Now, what impressed me in this game, or who stood out to me personally? The first person that stood out to me, and I have given this person a lot of criticism in this offseason when they said that he would be the starter, and when a lot of people said that he is more than a game manager. At least in the first game, I know he didn't have a lot of passing attempts, but he showed me that he can be more than a game manager, and that is Kyle Vantrease. He looked every bit a starting college quarterback. He looked poised outside of the one bad throw that he had when he was rolling to his left. He threw an interception that was, thank goodness, called back early in the game. He looked in command, and again, like I stated, he looked like he is more than a game manager. He went 15 of 19 for 231 yards and one touchdown, and he didn't throw the ball more simply because it wasn't needed in this game. They were so dominant in all facets of this game that for him, he really only played the first half of the game, and then it was the second and third string QBs for UB that took over and carried them the rest of the way. Again, Kyle Vantrease, he looked fantastic. He's going to have a big test next week against Nebraska. The second thing that impressed me in this game was the Bulls' run game domination. Again, we thought that they would be good, but I don't think we thought they would be 312 yards good, especially because they lost their starting star running back, who is now in the NFL, and Jarrett Patterson for the Washington football team. They lost 3 starting offensive linemen, so it was completely retooled. They lost 2 to the transfer portal, 1 to the NFL. They had 2 guys, they lost 3 guys. They only had 2 starters from last season, and it's just a completely retooled offensive line, and they still got things done. They rushed again 312 yards with 7 different running backs who had a carry in this game. Ron Cook Jr. in the run game, to me, was the most impressive. Another low-rated, undersized running back who looked quick, looked like he had a lot of speed, looked like he had a lot of agility and a lot of pop, when he was running the rock. He had 14 carries, one more than the supposed starting running back in Kevin Marks, and he had 94 yards and 1 touchdown. Overall, there were 4 running backs in this game that rushed for over 50 yards. That is how impressive UB's run game was in this game. The next and last thing that I was impressed by was the Bulls' defense looked very, very dominant, albeit against a lesser opponent. As I stated earlier, yes, they only played against an FCS team, but when you have a brand new coaching staff who's coming in and you're learning a new system, a new style, a completely new attitude, essentially, with only about a half of an offseason, or a lesser of an offseason, as Lance Leipold left late in the offseason workouts, it was really impressive to see that they were still very fast, still very hungry, and still very dominant in pretty much all facets of this game. The Bulls allowed just 97 total yards to the Wagner Seahawks, just 18 rush yards and 79 pass yards. That is absolutely incredible to have a game like that against any opponent, really, in the Division I level. Two of the standouts for me were recruit from junior college in defensive tackle Deshawn Folsom. He's a 3-star JUCO recruit. He had 5 tackles total and 1 sack, and he looked very dominant in this game. And also, of course, UB's potential next draft pick on the defensive side in defensive end, Taylor Riggins. If he plays like he did in this game, he is going to be tough not to draft if he plays like this the rest of the season. Taylor Riggins had 6 total tackles and 2 sacks. He was in the backfield seemingly all game long. He was in on a couple of other sacks also that he did not get credit for, but he looked absolutely tremendous coming in off of an injury that kept him out of the entire the shortened 2020 season. Now, I have some potential X factors. Looking at this game, I thought I should come up with some potential X factors for the rest of the season for the UB Bulls and players that could have major impacts this season going forward. I picked 1 on offense and 1 on defense. The defensive X factor, of course, is going to be defensive end Taylor Riggins. Coming off of the injury, as I just stated, that cost him the entire 2020 season, he looked absolutely dominant to begin the season with those 6 tackles and 2 sacks. Again, in the backfield all game long. He looked very, very good in all facets of the game. And his ability to not only get after the quarterback, but to penetrate and stop the run is going to play a huge factor for UB moving forward this season. The next X factor for the Buffalo Bulls is Kewan Williams. I think I said his name wrong, but that's okay. The wide receiver coming into the offseason, UB was very, very thin, had not a lot of experience at the wide receiver position, and they were going to be very young, again, and inexperienced. Williams is a rare in-conference transfer who came over from Eastern Michigan. He is 6 feet, 185 pounds, as a wideout with easily the most playing time and experience on the Buffalo Bulls roster. And when he joined UB, he had 76 catches, 983 yards, and 8 touchdowns in 2 seasons with EMU. In his first game at UB, he did exactly what you want a number 1 receiver to do, and he was very, very strong throughout the game. He was Van Treese's favorite target. He had 5 receptions for 96 yards, and I believe, again, he will be UB's number 1 wide receiver moving forward. A fantastic get so far, it looks like, for Coach Mo and his staff. moving forward this season to get some experience at the wide receiver position, especially when it looks like UB is going to be a more balanced offense this season under Coach Mo. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Remember, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know if you watched the game, what you thought of it, if there was any other standout players in this game for you. Remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching again. Have a fantastic week.